Hello, and welcome back to the definitive Starship review series without access to a proper table. Yes, today, as you can see, we have some very special models. The golden U.S.S. Enterprise, the original. As hard as it is to define this ship, but yes, the latest in the gold mine, and an absolute beauty she is. You can tell because I wear these special white gloves to actually handle any of these models, except for this one. Any of the gold models, I wear my special gloves for. Few things before we start. First off, I have managed to get sick again. Nothing serious, I'm actually feeling fine now, but it means that cough I've been dealing with for the past 2.5 months, well, actually a little over 2 months, has basically reset to the point where it's really bad again. So if there are some awkward cuts, like that one, genuinely actually had to cough there. That's why. And of course, as with all these models, I have to say I'm part of the Eaglemoss affiliate program, which means if you choose to purchase either of these models, because of this video, there's a link in the description, that is an affiliate link, meaning I will get a 7% commission on either the model or the sale. I don't know which one because no one's done it yet. And actually today, given that this model, the XL, costs $200, is actually, you know, that's not nothing, that 7% commission. Just bear that in mind. I am extremely love these models. I'm going to praise them. But if that's something you feel weird about, just bear that in mind. I have a monetary incentive to tell you to go and buy this $200 beauty. I think I'm going to forego the usual size comparisons because this is exactly the same size as the XL Enterprise. And also here, they're exactly the same model. It's just they're plated with 18 karat gold. So they're not solid gold. That would be probably way too heavy and far too expensive. They're just lined with 18 karat gold. Personally, I've never been one to care too much about carats or lining or solid. I mean, honestly, my life goal was to have an Enterprise lineage wall. I remember I finished it about the same time they released the first of these golds, and I went, if my goal was to have an Enterprise lineage wall, and all the real lineage walls are technically gold, these gold models, yeah, I would buy all of them. I don't know if they're going to do all of them. Apparently at the convention, I was reading someone talk to Ben Robinson, who runs Eaglemoss, this sort of side of it at least. He said they were working on an Enterprise E, like that's definitely going to happen. I don't know if they'll do things like the B or the C, but Eaglemoss, please, like a proper gold lineage. These models are beautiful. Shall we take a closer look? Oh, you can see me in this, can't you? Yes, hello. I mean, yes, I think the TOS Enterprise lends itself to this gold coating particularly well because it's got that slight curve down and then a curve up. You know, you do need to dust these models, as you can see. That's why I'm holding these with gloves. If you're not using them with gloves, like, you will smudge it and stuff. I'm sure you can clean it. I'd just rather not have to clean my gold-plated Enterprises, but I've been dying to get this under the film lighting just to see that shine, and you can tell there it really is beautiful. I've actually had these displayed under the TV. There's a little TV in my room that's hooked up to the computer, and the shine off of that is just beautiful when I'm lying in bed watching something, and you can see because the original Enterprise has no greeblies, just everything is a shine and a smooth curve. You know, you got, but you still have that windowing detail, and you can make it out the lines, the indents, and then all the little detailing on the nacelles. Absolutely beautiful. And I particularly want to highlight that because I also own the Enterprise D in gold, and I think it's still very nice, but I don't think it's as nice as the TOS Enterprise. You can still buy this, by the way. They are limited runs, but I checked, you can still buy both of these models. But because the Enterprise D is so much more detailed, and just I think the curves aren't as intense or something, I'm not too sure what it is, but you don't quite get that same shine just because of all of the details. But I mean, look at that on the camera right there. That is a gold Enterprise D. But yes, the TOS Enterprise just lends itself particularly well. Like, the best parts of the Enterprise D in gold are kind of this bit, like the flat bits where they just let curves happen, and That's basically all the original Enterprise is, so I am very happy with that model. If you own the Gold D, it actually seems to have kind of fixed itself. I've gotten it more on its stand. But before, it had a problem where it would constantly want to fall over. I think it's has to do with the density of the gold, where it's very close to top heavy, and I actually had to weigh it down to avoid it falling on the floor off its shelf. I don't have to do that anymore, but for the TOS Enterprise, it's much more stable. This stand doesn't snap in particularly well. I mean, it's not going to fall off. It just happens to be one of the looser ones. Yeah, I would feel very comfortable having this up on an edge. And in fact, I do. As you can see in some of my other videos, I have it on an edge under the TV. I think we should take a look at the smaller version, though. I don't remember how much these cost, but much less than $200. So I think a lot of people will be more tempted by these. And yeah, it's got the same shine. You know, it's just a smaller version. It's the exact same material, 18 karat gold, real gold. But really, just because it's smaller, that shine, I don't think it's as pronounced. There we go. You can kind of see my smaller one has a few more marks. Might need a bit more polishing just because it's a bit older. But I think just the scale of that saucer on the large model, it just adds a lot more and just makes it so much better. I mean, obviously, it's a giant gold Enterprise as opposed to a small gold Enterprise. The XL is bigger. But you definitely still get that effect, that same gold effect on the smaller ones. If you're looking for a full range, I don't actually know Eaglemoss's plans of doing like big and small golds going forward, just the big, just the small. So you'd kind of be running that gamble. And yeah, it is, I mean, you know, if you're collecting Eaglemoss, you're already in a bit of an expensive hobby, but like these two ships alone, by which I mean the XL-D and this one, are $400. And if they make just the NX, this version of the Enterprise, the A, the B, the C, the D, and the E, just those 7, which is not a complete lineage, but it's, you know, probably the biggest ones, that's $1,400. You know, even if they just make maybe 4 or 5 of those, that's still like $1,000. This is an expensive lineage. You know, if you're really considering that, maybe these small ones would definitely be worth going for. But if you have the money to throw at these things and you're just wondering, will I be happy? I honestly don't know how you could order this and not be happy with the result. Even that deflector dish, just the scale you get on it is very nicely done. There's nowhere in this where the gold is chipped or they couldn't get in. But I really love just all the detailing on this reflector. But because the detail is curves, not only does it stand out very well in gold, but it allows the shine everywhere, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Now, not all details are present. If I had thought about it, I might have brought in my XL Enterprise home from college to do this video. But you can see the things that are painted on the actual Enterprise aren't on the bottom. You also, of course, don't have any registries or markings, but that's not really the point of a gold model, of course. The gold model is to get the shape and the texture, but not the actual paint. And that's, of course, what these models looked like in on the other Enterprises, the D, the E, anything that has a lineage. You know, this is the kind of detail that you're getting. And maybe if I actually went on the set of the Enterprise E and held up these gold models, there'd be some slight differences. In fact, there'd almost certainly be differences. But, I mean, if we're in a future where we could do a full Enterprise lineage for these gold Enterprises, I mean, it's just gonna look like the real thing, and it's going to be gorgeous. Yeah, a bit of a shorter video. Someone actually requested this. I didn't think I was gonna do it for a while. But because there's not actually detailing other than gold to talk about, you know, I don't have too much to say. I just want to point out, actually, the interior of these nacelles are beautiful. Not only these small details, but, like, all these grills. Whoops, all these grills they have here. This is solid. I can't remember if the XL has a hole between this little sticky out bit and the nacelle. Because there should be one. And, in fact, you can see where it should be on the gold. I imagine that's just a side effect of doing the gold plating process, but I mean, it looks right to me, you know. But as I was saying, everything where they've done this grading, well, this is probably easier. This sort of grading here, this texturing, these dots, the wiring bits on the nacelles, it's just beautiful. So yeah, if you have the $200 to throw at this model, or in fact the Enterprise D, and you're just worried you might be disappointed and don't want to make the gamble, you won't be disappointed. If you think you'd be in any way interested in a gold-plated Enterprise, you'll be happy. But you'll also be happy with either of these models. If you don't have the $200 to throw around, just get the smaller ones. You'll be happy. There's a little caveat, though, with the gold, is that they're extra limited edition. And Eaglemoss does have a bit of a habit of releasing limited editions that they'll never make again, and then just releasing them later. I have the Yorktown, the Adventine, the Titan, and the Cloak Defiant, all that way, where Comic-Con releases or something, convention releases that they were never going to release again, then one day they did, so I bought them. And I don't remember how many of these are limited to. I think the Gold Enterprise D is 1,000, and these might be 500. So they do tend to stick around on the shop for a little bit, but you might not want to wait, especially if you're watching these, you know, a little after these videos have come out. I believe the small ones are also limited, I just don't know to how many. And given the fact that the Enterprise D is still out there, even though they only made like 1,000 or so, kind of suggests that these are a rather niche collector's item, especially given the price. And they might not make them again, or at least not for a very long time once they sell out. So yeah, whoever requested these, because someone did request that I go over the Gold Enterprise XL, I hope you enjoyed this look at it, and to everyone else, I hope you got what you wanted out of this video, either some very, very beautiful starships you cannot afford, or I've helped you decide on a purchase. And so yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions still on any of these models, any of the gold models, just ask me in the comments below. If you'd like me to review any model, just ask. Again, that's why we're doing this today. That's why we did the Equinox last week, and it's why we're going to do the XL Oberth next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.